Some of them were okay, but most of them were like below average. Some of the shots were quite shaky and when they should have been like still and maybe better quality.
The shots were quite shaky and just a bit all over the place. And the sound bed could have been improved, a bit more Foley.
I feel like it was very shaky. It was very like distracting from like the storyline, and the mise en scene. I think you could have like done the shots a bit better. Like I think the composition could have been like improved a lot.
It was terrible. I hated it so much. It just didn't. It felt, you know, incoherent and wrong for the whole scene.
I felt like it was quite amateur. It was a bit, wasn't very thought through. It kind of seemed like the creation process was quite rushed. So obviously the camera work was quite shaky and the general storyline wasn't very clear and explicit of what the plot was.
It wasn't quite clear.
It didn't flow very smoothly and the shots were quite hard to follow, so I don't find the story easy to follow. It wasn't very clear to me.
No, not really. I didn't really understand the narrative at all.
No, it was really short and I didn't understand what was going on quite clearly.
It was really difficult to kind of grasp the concept of what your short film was about, and obviously the narrative wasn't very clear and it wasn't very obvious, so yeah, I struggled to figure out what the plotline was.
Yeah, everything was definitely much more improved. All the shots were like still when they should have been, and like the storyline made much more sense and it was easier to follow. The characters were also like well developed for a short film and the shots were really nice.
Yes, I do. I think your first draft wasn't very suited to you and your personality.
Yeah, your new idea is a lot more like, just a lot more like interesting. I could follow it a lot easier. It's something that I think is just like interesting to watch as well as like understand the story. It's just generally like the kind of film I would watch, so it was really good to see.
Yes, because I think it would give you a new opportunity, because I feel like obviously the first idea is just so, you need to just scrap it, it's not good.
Yes, I do, because it's much more colourful and very colourful.
Yeah, the shots look like they're a lot more stable and it was really improved. The sound bed was a lot better with the usage of Foley. I think overall it was just vastly improved.
Yeah, it improved a lot more. It was a lot smoother, it looked a lot more professional. It just looked like so much nicer. I noticed that like in the editing you used a lot of like split screens and like it just made it so much more interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot more stable, used Steadicam or warp stabilizer at least, so it felt like the shots belonged right. I liked how the framing was used and sound.
I thought it was really dramatically improved from the last time, which was really nice, especially now that you can see the contrast between the two, the first attempt and obviously the final draft. And I think you've clearly like worked on your camera work and your sound is a lot clearer, and I think it's just a lot better.
Yes, I think it was much more clear in this new storyline where the equilibrium was at the beginning and how it got disrupted, but then it all came together in the end.
Yeah, it was really easier, a lot easier to follow compared to the last one with the use of chapters. I think that really helped me follow the storyline.
It's a lot easier to follow, I found, and the storyline was a lot clearer.
It makes a lot more sense now because the story makes more sense for a short film and it follows Totoro's narrative structure. It makes more sense just to me.
Yeah, narrative-wise, I felt it was easier to kind of grasp what was going on, because it was very explicit, but it was explicit in a way which was quite clever, which I thought was quite unique. So.
Yes, it was very like cheesy, but I think that's good because it put the point across very clearly and it was very nicely put together.
Yeah, I think it's fit into the stereotypical rom-com, especially how the characters met over the quite humorous, comical setting. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, it was a lot more upbeat. The characters and like the mise en scene, like the scenery you used, it was very like typical sort of rom-com, very like colourful, very bright, and like it was really nice.
It feels like a rom-com story. It's like an actual short film, so professional level.
Yeah, I felt it really covered that. It was quite bubbly and colourful, but it also had that kind of lovey-dovey aspect, which was really nice. So.